Everybody, so this is the first princess on my list to do the makeup tutorial for in honor of the National Disney Princess Week. Obviously it's going to be Snow White, and I already did obviously part of my face just for time because I don't know how to edit yet. So basically for my foundation real quick, I moisturized my face and I used the Benefit Porefessional primer, and then I used Makeup's Forever Matte Velvet Plus, and I used number 15. It's lighter than I am. It's a lighter shade than I am, but I think the lighter for Snow White, the better. I've also used the True Match by CoverGirl and Ivory that has worked, but this stays longer. It's waterproof, it's sweatproof, it's great. I set it using the e.l.f. High Definition Powder and Kabuki brush. This thing is $5 and it's just as good as the Makeup Forever $35 one, so I highly recommend it. It's at Target. And so I'm going to start by using blush because I haven't put any blush on. Funny thing is that I actually use the the MAC's Villians Evil Queen blush. It's actually their beauty powder in Oh So Fair. This was limited edition when it came out 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah, 2 Octobers ago. I had to have the whole collection. But basically, what it is a very, very bubblegum pink color. And I just use a Bare Essentials natural brush. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the apples of your cheeks. And what that means is if you make a smile in your mirror like this, that's your apples of your cheeks. Now, I tend to use a lot of this, only because this particular one isn't exactly a blush. So it looks really pink in the very beginning, but after my cheek settles down, because the blood is rushing to my cheek right now because I'm pushing on it, it's not as pink. And for Snow White, I feel like you should do a little bit more cheek because she's very contrasty. Next, I'm going to use 10 by Benefit just to contour a slight bit. You don't want that dark of a contour, but I always like to do it just about here. And what I also like to do is I go over it with my blush. And I like to use, I have like this double-sided brush. It's a angled brush and a flat tip brush. I like to blend it out a little bit and then go back in there and give a little bit more highlight to the cheek. Okay, next I'm going to do the eyes. The thing about Snow White's makeup is that there actually isn't a lot to it. You want a very minimal eye and more, it's all about the lip. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to prime my eyes. Did I bring that out? Yes, I did. This is a Benefit cream shadow called Tattle Tale. It's really, it's kind of goldy, but it gives a nice shimmer and it keeps your eyeshadow on longer. But I also like to put it more in the tear duct because it just brightens up your eye area. And I bring that all the way up to the eyebrow. Next one I'm going to use is, this is actually an e.l.f. palette as well. I like Target's cheap makeup. Some of it's really good. Obviously I've used a lot of it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a white shimmery shadow with a fluffy brush. It's broken, so I'll use the mirror. And I'm going to put that all over my lid and all the way up to the brow bone just to kind of whiten up the gold. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color right here. it's shimmery and it's more of a mauve steel color. The reason why I want to do this is I screen capped the Snow White Blu-ray, and there's the scene where the dwarves go upstairs and they find out that the evil monsters upstairs is actually Snow White, the beautiful girl laying there sleeping. And her eyes are drawn closed, so I actually could tell what the colors were and how they wanted to draw it, because they actually drew eyeshadow on her. It's kind of like a smoky color on the eye, but a light steely color, and then a definition in the crease area, which is very 30s because it was made in the 30s. Walt Disney described he wanted Snow White to be very much the girl next door in the 30s. So I'm going to use this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it in the crease of my brow bone, but I'm just going to do it, it looks so funny with my eyeball going up, to about here. I'm not going to bring it all the way over, just to give kind of like a shadow and sets my eyes in deep. Snow White also has the very squinty bedroom eyes, which is why I did these lashes, which I'm going to explain a little bit. So just like that, nothing really more than that. I might bring it a little bit down, but that's about it for the contour of the eye. And then what I'm going to do is all over, I'm going to use this Bare Minerals loose pigment. It's called Nude Beach. It's actually made with real crushed pearls, and I'm obsessed with it. But it gives a beautiful, soft sparkle. And it just kind of blends everything together. And yeah, I'm using my fingers. I like to use my fingers a lot. It's a makeup artist thing. A lot of us do use brushes, but a lot of us, certain things use fingers. And I find that with loose pigment, fingers work better because of the heat. It just sticks onto it better instead of just blowing up everywhere, because I'm a big klutz and it would go everywhere. So next, what I'm going to do is to make my eyes a little bigger, because we're going to be using really thick lashes. So if you need a little bit something underneath just so it opens it up a little bit, I'm going to take an eyeliner brush and I'm going to put it in the same shadow. And I'm going to just take it from here to here, halfway to your eye, just to give a little bit openness to it. Then I am going to take 24/7's Glide On Eye Pencil by Urban Decay. What is this color called? Weo. And I'm going to do this in the tear duct and bring it all the way to where we stopped the last one. Now for eyeliner. Basically, with her eyes closed as well, I saw that her, she's got that dark line where they drew her lid with lashes. So you need to have basically the thinnest line possible. So what I use is my favorite La Rose de Versailles. It's a Japanese eyeliner. You can get it online or you can get it at Japanese import stores. But basically any liner that has a brush tip like that is absolutely the best. And what you want to do is you want to line your eye as close as you can to your lashes. No wing at the end. Just follow from the tip to the tip of your eye to the other tip of your eye. I would say not to rush this because this does take a steady hand. There. You can really see how blonde my eyelashes are. You can kind of see them. I have extremely blonde lashes. Okay, so next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry for a second, and I'm going to do my eyebrow. And what I'm going to do with my eyebrow is I'm going to use the Benefit Waterproof Bad Gal Liner. It's an eyeliner, but she's a very cartoony, but very 30s as well. And a lot of the times in the 30s, they shaved off their eyebrows and they drew a line. So I'm going to literally just draw a thin line, but I'm going to extend my line where my natural eyebrow is just a little bit down, as you can see over here. What I like about this liner is that you can go over with a brush and soften it up, but it also stays really, really well. Sometimes I do a little bit more curvy. It really depends. But try to just kind of follow your natural eyebrow where it starts and just extend just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lashes. And I'm going to use Katy Perry's new lashes. I love them. I'm using the Oh My version, which is her thickest black ones, and they're double layered. The reason why I like thick black eyelashes for Snow White is that she's very squinty. A lot of times it almost looks like she's smiling with her eyes closed. So I find that with the thicker lashes, it gives that illusion of the squinty, like when you smile. So I think that really brings out the character in you. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my natural lashes. I find with putting on falsies, if your eyelashes are already curled, it helps a lot. And I actually put mascara on. Just a little coat. And a little on the bottom. You can use bottom lashes, but sometimes I feel like if you have too heavy of an eyelash on top and you do it on the bottom, it really loses completely your eye. So I only use it on the top. So I'm going to add the glue. Her glue that comes with it, it's okay. I still like, I love Makeup Forever's. It's that metallic looking one. It does come with every pair of lashes. I think that is absolutely the best. And let that dry. I'll talk a little bit while this dries about some options you can do. You can use Highbrow by Benefit up at the top of your eyes. I might, just because the light's really bad right now, just to get that highlight on your eye. But again, I think the less on the eye, the better. All right, I'm going to place those on. Now with false lashes, it is practice. Sometimes I scream and yell a lot because I'll get one eye perfect and then the next eye I can't get the stupid lash on. My recommendation is try to do it as far away as your tear duct as possible. I find I always stick it too much and it sticks my eye and it's really obnoxious. And I try to do it with my eyes open, and I literally just set it down where I want it. I would also recommend using a tweezer, an eyebrow tweezer, sometimes to grab and hold the inner corner in place. I find that helps me out a lot, especially if you accidentally cut them too short, because you're recommended to cut them to your eye shape. I have large eyes naturally, so I normally don't have to cut them, but if you have to cut them and you cut them too short, just to make sure that this one stays where it needs to stay. All right, I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to do my lips. Now with the lips, I do several different things when I like to visit my friend Snow White. First off, when you do red lip, the big problem is bleeding. I am in love with this. This is Too Faced's Borderline. It's an invisible lip liner that you put on the outside of your lips, and it stops from any bleeding. No matter what, it stops it. Also, I should mention that I have paled out my lips. Basically all I did is I put the foundation while I was putting on top of it. I find that that keeps it, and also it helps with drawing a different lip shape. Because with snow I tend to do a little bit of a different lip shape than I am. So one coat of mascara I recommend once your lashes feel good and dry. Do a coat or two, and then what you want to do is you want to squeeze carefully your lashes together so it doesn't look like you're wearing falsies from underneath. Alright, so with the lips, I use a lip liner when I do her lips. I use Max Brick. It's the best kind. And what you want to do, or what you can do, is to do a very cupid lip. So what I do is I like to literally draw a dot where I want my lip to be on my cupid's bow. And I literally connect the lines. I have a little red Hitler stash right now. What I like to do is I like to do like I did in my 30s tutorial, where I bring it almost all the way to my lip, the end of my lip on the top. And then on the bottom, I make a fuller in the middle, and I bring it to where my other one lands. It just gives more of that heart lip that she had. And then fill that in. Now, when Snow White likes to go visit everybody at the parks, she does fill her lips out completely all the way. But I personally sometimes like to do the more cupid look for her. Also with the lipstick, there's 3 MAC lipsticks I use. It depends. I've used the Wooby Woo. For me personally, I find it is too drying. But I like a matte finish. I use Russian Red a ton. I use that almost every day as in general. But I also really like this color. This is Debonair. It's an amplified MAC color. The reason why I like this is because it's more of a blood red color. And traditionally, it was written that her lips were as red as blood. Briar Roses is the color, the shade of the rose. But Snow White's is blood. It's a color of blood. So after I fill those in, I like to, this is my favorite one to use for her. Now right now I feel like my lips are a little bit too pointy. I'm so used to doing, I normally wear retro makeup every day, so I'm so used to doing the 50s red lip. So I would try to round that out. So this is pretty much it. The cheeks are good. I may add a little bit more blush to them. But this is what my normal makeup is for Snow White professionally. I perform as her now for True Enchantment Entertainment, and the same one that Tracy Hines is on if you're a Tracy Hines fan. And actually I'm going to be visiting a special girl this Saturday. with Cinderella, so I'm excited about that. The wig is this one. I actually have 3 Snow White wigs, but this one's actually done by Lisa Fabio at Little Penny Lane on Etsy. But this is the one I like to wear right now. I do have other 2 that I style myself. One's a little longer, and one is actually a Betty Boop license wig, but I restyled it. The bow is like my favorite thing. I actually got it signed by Snow White in the back. I don't know where it is. Which side? Oh yeah, right there. So, so this is it. So this is the first look for the Princess Week. If you have any questions or would like to see another princess other than Snow White through Belle, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.